Hello guys and welcome to VoloKin Project. It's Tony here, your favorite YouTuber. Today I'm gonna talk about a special phone which I did not buy upon release simply because it wasn't available and I was broke. So we're gonna have a look at the Huawei Mate 9 Pro and why this phone is still relevant 5 years down the line. So without further ado, let's get it on. Okay guys, the Mate 20 Pro, what was the deal really? Phones like that led to phones like that. Let me know in the comment section below if you know what this phone is. But anyways, everybody was talking about the regular Mate 20 back in the day and I wasn't really impressed, to be honest with you. It wasn't available in Europe, I think it was China exclusive, so hey, who cares? But after that they came up with the Mate 9 Pro. Actually, Mate 8 Pro, Mate 9 Pro? Wait a second, Mate 10 Pro? Mate 9 Pro, yes, too many Pros. So, Mate 9 Pro, yes, I totally forgot which Mate it is because I've just finished filming this video. But anyways, guys, the Mate 9 Pro. Okay, so this phone was released 5 years ago, guys, at the end of 2016. Absolutely flagship specifications for the time. The Mate 9 Pro was a direct hit at Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. I'm really not sure about the pricing and something else. Before I continue with this review, let me know in the comment section below, have you had this phone in the past? Do you still use it? And what are your impressions? I love to hear phone stories about, well, the phones that I feature on my channel. But anyways, there are a few color options. I've got the rarest of them all, the pink one, or let's say rose gold with a metal back, and of course you've got these signs of usage over here. This is the downside of having a metal phone. It's very durable, but it scratches pretty badly. And at the front it is actually white, guys. Check this out, it has this kind of very weird, check this out, where my thumb is, the rainbow effect over here. It looks like a candy, very nice. I'm gonna power this on in a sec, but first let's talk about the specifications, or at least the ones at the back, guys. We had a market leading 20 megapixel. Actually, wait a second. I'm correct. 20 megapixel black and white camera, which is probably the highest resolution black and white camera. Absolutely useless, guys. There's an app in the market which does a way better job. And of course, 12 megapixel main shooter. Now you can see a few photos from the main camera. I'm really not impressed. I mean, it's 2021 after all, and I'm really not impressed. But back in the day, it was top of the range camera. You've got the infrared autofocus over here, dual tone flash, and a microphone. At the top you've got the IR blaster, guys. You can use it as a remote, and you can see the brushed aluminum over here. Very nice and sturdy build. Some antenna lines over here. At the bottom, 3.5mm jack. By the way, it sounds absolutely amazing. Be the Chinese device, they've put no restrictions whatsoever. It's gonna blast your ears off, but it has no equalizer options. Just to mention, the bottom firing speaker, and of course this is a stereo speaker phone. Unfortunately, you've got like 80% coming from this speaker and just like 20% coming from this speaker over here, which is not very nice. The front facing camera is a 8 megapixel unit, and man, this camera is probably the best 8 megapixel camera I have ever seen, guys. You can't really tell it's 8 megapixel. You're gonna say it's at least 16 megapixel. If only Sony had such a good 8 megapixel camera, but no, they don't. This camera is probably better than the one on the Xperia 1 Mark, I don't know, 2 had an 8 megapixel camera. But yeah, now moving on, what we're dealing with: 5.5 inch 16:9 OLED 4K screen. This screen is still relevant and it's absolutely beautiful, guys. Check this out. Some of the built-in wallpapers are absolutely marvelous. Check this out. Absolutely beautiful wallpapers. And guess what? You can turn down the resolution to 1080p to save battery and to improve the gaming performance, guys. I'm gonna show you my screenshots in a sec. But one other feature, front-facing fingerprint reader. Check this out. How quick that was. Check this out, guys. You've got rise to wake and face unlock as well. Boom, you're in. Absolutely marvelous. As well as you've got programmable buttons over here. If not, you can actually, use the full screen gesture, simply because this phone got a few updates. You've got the black theme over here, and just I'm gonna show you in a sec about phone. Check this out, guys. EMUI version 9.1.0, Android version 9. Now, you might say that's old, but man, listen, that's okay. Security patch from July 2019, guys, which means that you got about 2.5 years of security patches. You can't really complain. Plus dark mode, gestures, what else do you need? There is no newer feature that you actually need. And something else, 4 GB of RAM with 64 gigs of storage. Now, having used quite a lot of old phones recently, I can say that the only thing holding all the phones from behaving properly is the RAM. Over here you've got 4 gigs, which is fine, I guess, but that's the bare minimum for the phone to work nowadays. So yeah, something to keep in mind. The battery is 4000 milliamp hours. As you can expect from a 5-year-old phone, the battery life is not gonna be brilliant, but still it holds up very, very nicely, guys. And check this out. I mean, how snappy that thing is. I've got Call of Duty over here. Actually, you can do some Call of Duty gaming. Let me show you my screenshots over here, guys, so you can see what we're dealing with over here. So in 4K I've got 63 FPS, which is pretty good. That's medium settings, pretty much on the Call of Duty. In 1080p I've got 83 FPS. We are getting into the high settings of the graphics, guys, which is, for a phone which is 5 years old, that's actually mind-blowing. And if you turn on the resolution to 720p, you've got 54 FPS and things get a little bit choppy, so I really don't recommend 720p. Funny enough, from no matter how many phones I've turned 720p, it always messes the phone up, so I really have no idea why that's such an option anyways. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, check this out, how smooth that thing is. I'm absolutely surprised of this Huawei phone, guys. Now, in terms of pricing, these are extremely rare to find nowadays. You literally have to look on eBay, and most of the units have cracked screens, this and that. They're really not in a good nick. But if you manage to find a nice unit like that, apart from the scratches over here, I'm sorry, but you just missed out on this one. I sold it for £150, which is way too expensive, to be honest with you, simply because you can get the base version, the Mate 20, not the Porsche design of course, but the Mate 20 Pro for a £150, pretty much for the same price. You can get the Mate 10 Pro for £100, guys, which makes absolutely no sense to get this phone instead, unless you need the metal back cover over here. But prepare yourself to change the battery. But anyways, that's not big of a deal for this phone. I absolutely love this phone, guys, and better late than never. I love using all the tech and seeing how they hold up over the years, guys, because I mean, phones nowadays are released every like 1 month, so we've got plenty of newer devices and they're kind of average. For example, there's the Realme 7 Pro. By the time I got it, the 8 Pro was already released and it's the same. So it's like, okay, anyway. But at least Huawei, they're not releasing phones that often, especially their flagships are always super future-proof, guys. But once again, when buying a phone, if you intend to use it for a long periods of time, just get the higher gigs of RAM and the higher gigs of storage, because it's very future proof. Now, in terms of the VoloKin Spectrum scoring system, you can see it on the screen over here. As you can see, quite a high score for a phone which is that old, guys. But I guess if you paid this amount of money back in the day, you would expect the phone to last a few years, and luckily Huawei absolutely delivered, and no wonder the Mate series is so successful and they sell millions nowadays, because of a good foundations and good customer base with phones like that. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe if you managed to last that long into the video. Thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one. Adios.